Section 6.2 is on radical and rational exponents. Your learning targets that you will be able to find nth roots and you will be able to evaluate expressions with rational exponents. So over here in the core concept, it's talking about nth roots and giving you some kind of rules about if your n is even or odd. So n is called the index. And so if you look at this first note here, it's the number that's kind of in front in your radical. So when you write it in radical form, you would have the nth root of a, or in rational form, it would be a to the 1 over n power. So if n is odd, it has one real nth root. If n is even and the radicand, the number inside, is greater than 0, then there's going to be two nth roots, positive and negative. If n, the index, is even and a is 0, then there's one real root, which is 0. And if n, the index, is even, and your radicand is less than 0, then there's no real roots. Meaning if we have the square root of -4, we can't take the square root of a negative number, so there's no real roots. So then again, we have our rational exponents. And so when your exponent is written as a fraction like this, another way that I like to remember it is that it's power over index. So when you're writing it into this expanded form to maybe evaluate it, the numerator is going to be the power and the denominator is going to be the index. Example 1 is finding nth roots. So it's giving us an n, or an index, and then a is the radicand, the number inside. So I'm going to start by drawing my square root symbol, my radical symbol. My index is 3. So the 3 goes here, and then my radicand is -64. So when my index is odd, I can take the radical of the negative. So this negative here is okay. So basically what you're thinking is, what number to the third power gives us -64? So this number right here would be -4, because -4 cubed is -64. So -4 would be our answer. For this next one, I'm going to draw my radical. I have an index of 2, so we're doing square root, and your radicand is 81. So that's what's going to go on the inside. Then we're thinking, what number squared gives us 81? 9. 9 squared gives us 81, so 9 is our answer. Example 2 is evaluating some nth root expressions. So for the first one, we have the fourth root of 81. So when we're thinking about this one, we're thinking, what number to the fourth power gives us 81? So it's kind of like guess and check. So for this problem, 3 to the fourth power is what gives us 81. So our answer here is 3. Now B is very similar. The only difference is this negative in front, which that negative is going to stay there. Okay, so it's almost like saying -1 times the fourth root of 81. And from the prior problem, we know the fourth root of 81 is 3. So -1 times 3 is -3. So it's okay that this index was even, because this negative was in front of the radical, not inside with the radicand. So C again is looking at our rational exponent. We have 1 over 2. So 1, again, the numerator is the power. 2, the denominator, is the index. So what this means, I'm going to draw my radical. 2 is the index. 25 goes inside. And then my power here is just 1. So that means it's just going to stay itself. So we're thinking, what number squared gives us 25? And that number is 5. And then again, because we have that power of 1, 5 to the first power just stays 5. Our next one, kind of similar to what we did here. Our power is 1, our index is 2. So when we draw this, we have an index, and then our negative 25 is on the inside, and this is raised to the power of 1. Now, is there a number that I can square that gives me negative 25? Okay, this answer isn't going to work because if I have a positive times a positive, I'm going to get a positive. If I have a negative times a negative, I'm going to get a negative. And because we're squaring something here, it has to be 2 of the same number. So our answer here is no real root. Okay, so there is this answer. There's an actual answer to this type of problem, but you won't learn about it until Algebra 2. So in example 3, we're evaluating more rational expressions. So here, if you notice, our numerator now is not 1. We have another numerator. So again, it's still power over index. So I'm going to draw my radical. My index is 5. 243 is my radicands. And then this is raised to the second power. So here we're looking for what number to the 5th power is 243. And that number is 3. 3 to the 5th power is 243. Then we need to square that 3. So 3 squared gives us 9. And 9 is our answer for this problem. And our last one, again, we have the power of 3 and the index of 2. So I'm going to draw my radical. My index is 2. My radicand 16 is inside. And then my power is 3. So here we're looking for what number squared gives us 16. And that answer is 4. And then we need to cube 4. So 4 to the 3rd power gives us 64. So 64 is our answer to this problem.